So it looks like GM is falling apart and no one is talking about it. Let's go ahead and break down the news. Check this out. General Motors to cut 1,300 workers across 2 different factories, and that is because demand levels are just not keeping up. And this is shortly following the news back in October that Ford in October was going to lay off 700 employees who build the Ford F-150. So now this is an additional 1,300 for a total of 2,000 workers. Okay, maybe not too bad. General Motors is a pretty big company. GM's Cruise Robotaxi unit fires 9 executives, cuts quarter of its workforce amid safety investigation. Now, this is huge, right? Because this is General Motors' autonomous vehicle, which is a major startup, and that it announced that, look, check this out, both on Thursday. So both moves from CEO Kyle and co-founder Dan both resigned from their position in the past few weeks. That doesn't sound too good, right? And this has been a major investment for GM. But yet GM stock is extremely overbought. I wanted to get your guys' input on what you think of it. General Motors stock was previously trading at lows of $26, had a nice little rally, and is now trading at highs of $36. It does have previous highs of $40, but now if the market or General Motors does begin to take in this news and we begin to see some of the selling pressure, the RSI is at 75, the MACD looks like it's already beginning to curl back over, and the downside potential, if it were to return back to previous lows, is 26, almost 27% ROI if GM begins to sell off, and of course we were to open a short position. On the overall day, it's looking a little bit more on the bear side, getting rejected by the EMA and the moving average. But if you look at this on the 1 hour time frame, we're still holding above the moving average, still holding above the EMA. So it's still very, very bullish. But maybe once we get that confirmation and that break below $33 a share, we can entertain the idea of a potential short position on the way down if we get that confirmation. Just wanted to get your guys' thoughts about that specific stock. Also, overall NASDAQ market, very, very bullish. Higher highs, higher lows, holding above the moving average, holding above the EMA. And that's even with a lot of big tech not following in the same direction. Apple is pretty much break even on the day. It kind of looked like it was struggling. I'm really excited to see because we're going into the weekend. If NASDAQ is going to stay at these overbought levels, which is pretty much all-time highs, right? We're right around 405.80 right now. All-time highs are at 406.30. Are big investors and big whales going to start locking in profits? That's going to create some selling pressure into the later hours. Something that we'll definitely have to follow up with. And when it comes down to the economic reports that were already released during today's session, we talked about this during today's live trading session. The PMI's report came out a little bit mixed at 48.2 versus the previous of 49.4 and 51.3 versus the previous of 50.8. We also had industrial production coming in at, as expected, at 0.2% and capacity utilization coming in at 78.8%. A little bit lower than the expectation of 79.1%. So Empire State Manufacturing came in way lower than what was expected, and that was with a drop of negative 14.5. So again, something that we'll have to follow up with. There doesn't look like there's too many more economic reports that are going to be released until later today at 4 p.m., which is going to be market closed already. But as of right now, NASDAQ market looks bullish. There's no reason to overcomplicate it. The only thing that I'm going to be paying attention to is asking the question, are people going to begin to lock in profits, and will that create enough selling pressure to create that same panic selling that we saw going into yesterday? We'll have to wait and see. I appreciate your time. I hope that earned your thumbs up. Again, if you guys want to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow or on Monday when the market opens, that's going to be that second link in the description down below. And if you have any questions, feel free to direct message me via Discord, and that's that first link in the description. Appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.